I'm live. Or am I? You never know with YouTube. There's always that delay. It looks like I'm live. So, what am I doing live on YouTube today? So, as with my personal challenge at the moment, I pick a topic and I do it 3 different times. One on Facebook, once on Instagram, and once on YouTube. So, here I am today. My topic for today is that who or what is stopping you? And this isn't an uncommon concept in personal development. And I think pretty much everyone's heard it a million times, that you are your worst enemy. But what I want to do is go into a little bit more detail about why and how this seems to become the case. We've gotten to a sort of point in our human evolution where we very quickly have become victims of our past experiences. Okay, now when people hear the word victim, they get really, really sort of tense, and some people instantly will become aggressive and switch down or switch off. I understand that, because when it was first given to me that you're a victim, I lost my shit altogether. I was not a happy man, and I was incredibly aggressive. And then what happened over a series of events of me not wanting to give up, because I was in a dire situation where I had to be a better dad. So I refused, even though I was being called a victim, even though I was being told that this was all on me. I refused to give up, and I kept pushing. I kept going back to these places where they were saying you're the victim. And then eventually it hit me that being a victim and owning being a victim is not negative. What it is a moment of freedom where you actually get this beautiful moment of power where you actually finally understand that you are the person in charge of your destiny. You are the person that can wake up any given day and make different choices. I was raised in an addict household with an addicted mother who suffered greatly from, I'm going to say, a whole bunch of mental maladies. Now, she suffered, and I believe to this day she probably still does. She was not a bad person, and she was not a bad mother. She tried her best. It's just that her best wasn't great. I was abducted at the age of 5. It was an attempted molestation, which didn't succeed. But the reality is, an abduction at the age of 5, whether you're molested or not, is still a pretty serious thing to live through. I then went on to carry the weight of those circumstances way into my probably mid to late 20s. Now, I carried that weight. Now, understand that when I became an adult, even though those things that happened to me were very real and I can't change them and I can't ignore them or compartmentalize them or suppress them, I can own them. And so what happened is I didn't do that. So I lived in fear of them. I lived in anger and rage of them. And I lived my life continually pointing outwards and blaming my mother for those things that happened. What I learned in this understanding of becoming a victim and the damage it did to me through my later years in life was that blaming my mother wasn't doing anyone good, and that being self-righteous and arrogant about the fact that those things might have been her fault wasn't damaging her life. It was only damaging mine. And that in that, I was now damaging my kids. See, those things that happen, every single one of them, I can turn into a positive and into fuel. And that's exactly what I've done. Not only with those things, but the things that I then continue to put myself through my adult years, including culmination of a few years ago doing 2 stints in prisons in Zimbabwe, in Africa. Now, what we need to do, and why I'm explaining this very simple premise again, probably for some people who might have heard it 1,000 times, is that at some point as an adult, I have to own those experiences. And that in owning them and stopping being the victim to them, I have been blessed with an incredible power, because now I can choose to create the positives in each of those events, and then I can then teach others. And that is, in essence, what we've been put here for, is to connect, support, and guide and help other people. Now, I know that's very foreign, so I'm not going to delve into that too much. What I am going to go back into this is, again, remind you that every single day that you wake up as an adult, you have a choice. That's simple. Doesn't matter where in the world you are, and for some, these choices are much tougher than others, but you have a choice. No matter what happened to you as a child, no matter what happened to you as an adult, no matter the mistakes you may have made, none of those situations have robbed you of the power of choice. Now, the beautiful part of all this is this, because it's quite heavy. You know, I'm sitting here telling you that if you really want change and if you really want any monumental direction in your life, it's on you. And here's the beautiful part: is very simple to change all these things I've spoken about. To create positives around every situation that happened is very simple if you're prepared to do a little bit of work. To wake up every single day and find gratitude in your life, even when there's nothing that right now you think there is to be grateful for, is a very simple task. All of these things are very simple tasks. You just need to get yourself aligned with the right people, offering the right advice and teaching you the right things. Personal development is not a lifelong journey. Personal growth is for you. That's in the choices you make every day. But personal development, which is the idea of talking to a coach, talking to a mentor, listening to a guru, learning meditation, talking to people about any of these tools that coaches and mentors have on offer, should be 6 to 12 months of your life maximum. And that is if you're a person who suffered immense and serious, we'll call inadvertent causes trauma. You don't need to spend the rest of your life. I can tell you that right now because I've used these tools and I've studied them. A bunch of this scribbling stuff on the back of my board here behind me is as simple as that. You don't need to be imprisoned or live with the idea that you are broken and that you need to go on this massive journey the rest of your days to fix yourself. Once you learn these tools and you overcome the past and you start having a lens that looks at the future with a completely different perspective, all the fuel that you carry to create negatives in your life will become fuel for positives. Then all you start doing is waking up and start seeing the opportunities around you. You start seeing that the choices that you got open to you are very, very different than they were before. Now, as I've said, you are your savior. You don't need me. You don't need anyone, Anthony Robbins. You don't need anyone. But you do need to make that choice. And you need to understand that you can continue to look for relief, which is to watch lots and lots of YouTube videos, read lots of books and listen to lots of gurus and go on lots of retreats and pay for a coach. Or you can actually be driven by change. That's your choice. You continue to search for relief, you'll get it. And if that's the way you want to play it, then I'm not judging anyone for it. But if you want change, and if you want to turn those things into gold, if you want to turn them into fuel forever, where you don't need to continue on this personal development hamster wheel, start waking up every single day. Start looking at the thoughts that happen every day. Start learning the simple art of awareness. And I keep saying simple because it is very, very simple. You just need to ask questions. You just need to explore this journey honestly. Start understanding how powerful you are. Stop looking for answers in everyone else. There are people out there like me that teach this. Keep it simple. And if you need anything, ask questions in the comments. I'm always happy to do a live. If you're too embarrassed to ask me questions deliberately, give me a topic and I'll talk about it any day of the week. If I can help someone through a hopeless situation, remind them that hope is always just a choice away.